Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Before we continue, we just want to say thank you all, and thank you for everyone that's been supporting us throughout this journey. We officially just launched last week, and you all um, we've seen the reviews, we've seen the number of people viewing it, and it's a welcome improvement, and we appreciate. So, and we've noticed that it's all over within Africa, especially to all my fans in Ghana. Thank you very much, Medasie. We appreciate. To my South African people looking at it, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Messiah Bonga. I think so. Yep. Thank you. And obviously, my people in Uganda, Swahili, I think. Yeah, Asante, thank you. And we cannot forget our homeland, Nigeria. We'd like to say thank you very much for appreciating. And, we will be giving out good content. Yemi, you want to say anything? Thank the viewers and everyone.
Yeah, in the same vein, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's joined us so far. This is like the third podcast, right? Yeah, it's been a good ride, and we should have fun with it together with the community. We hope to, and continue to give good content. But we will require you also to give your feedback about some of the podcasts that you have actually listened to. You can subscribe below to the YouTube channel, and also you can connect with us on both Twitter, LinkedIn, and also on Instagram as well. So we hope to hear from you guys, your feedback on the content that we have. Thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you all. And drums rolling, we'll start with today's episode. So welcome to another edition of Just Unsecure series and information and cybersecurity matters as it relates to Africa. My name is Babs. I'm a co-host, OO. We're information security enthusiast and an evangelist. So today we're going to be going through different topics, going through what's been happening so far, engaging, and some good, some bad, and some amazing topic in the world of information and cyber security. The first news, unfortunately, needs to be a little bit sad one, and has to do with the passing away of a security researcher known as Dan Kaminsky. He died around last week, around April, towards April 24th. At least that's when it was made publicly known. He was part of the people that were known for his work on discovering crucial DNS security flaws and Sony rootkit infections and popular talks on the Black Hat Bridge. So if you've ever been to Black Hat, he was always present there. He was a nice guy. You could actually discuss with him. I didn't know him personally, so it's not like if I actually knew him, but from what we've read and things we've heard about, he was a gentle giant in the world of information security. So that's just one of the sad news. He's left a big shoe to fill, but I hope his family moves on basically and able to fill that void.
Yeah, I also heard he's such an intellectual as well. One of the things that I read about him was on the average per day, he's tweeting he has like 25 tweets per day. So, and all on security and some other chapter. I think in 2008, he recorded a particular video with one of his niece that actually talked about DNS and what DNS is all about. It was really fun. I saw the video, really cool. He's a cool guy, and he's been contributing as an expert in the field. We'll definitely miss him in the industry.
Definitely. So we go to the next topic, which is the F5s, which is a vulnerability for the F5. I'm not sure if most people who kind of know about F5. F5 is an appliance that is used mostly for firewall. There's been an exploit. It's been tracked with a CV known as CVE 2021-23008 for anyone that wants to read more about it. I'll repeat it. It's the CVE 2021-23008. Basically, it's a flaw that allows the bypass of the Kerberos security and sign into the big IP access policy manager. So it's all about the issue, the flaw within the big IP access policy manager when it's time to do the authentication with the AD. So indirectly, it has to do mostly with the configuration, how you set it up, how you set up your authentication mechanism. F5 has already said, look, it's based on the fact that if you use multi-authentication, not just username and password, and moreover, they've also released a patch to this vulnerability. Again, it's quite serious, so you have to look into how you've deployed your big IP access policy manager. Yemi, any contributions to this one?
Yeah, it's always the weakest link, right? So I believe our listeners should go straight on and resolve this on time, because most of the big IP are actually exposed to the internet. This is more like the gateway. And I can tell you, this is a rock solid device on security, and also some of them are also used for load balancer as well. So it plays two roles. Some of them are even used for WAF as well. That means web application firewall. So in all area is a very important device in the organization. And we believe our listeners, managers, should look into this as quickly as possible.
Okay, good. Next one we're looking at. You want to take that one?
So we have this top 5 vulnerability that is actively being exploited. And this is coming from the NSA. Again, we've talked about NSA being active, FBI being active these days. And they're looking at some of those top 5 advisory. I think it's key thing that we need to look at as both individual in the podcast notes, so that you can quickly go to the link and look at it and do that. These are actively being explored, top 5 lists, and this should be actively looked into on time. You want to give some hints? One or two of them.
I would just say, if you follow us on LinkedIn, we normally, this is one of the topics that was actually just put within our group. Like I said, just follow us on the Just Unsecure and you can be part of that group. It's the five top. I can give you the CVEs, then like the top 5 vulnerabilities, CVs that hackers kind of like exploit. So you have the CV 2018-13379, the CV 2019-9670, you have the CV 2019-11510, you have the CV 2019-19781. And last but not least, the CV 2020-4006. So they have different areas that they target these hackers. So it's all a matter of, you guys research and read up on the CVE, and you'll be able to come to a conclusion. We don't want to bore you guys with a particular CVE, but it's always good to go through CVEs and see whether or not the assets within the assets that have been mentioned are within your organizations, and you take consideration the mitigation that's been stated to be implemented to avoid the exploits within your organization. So that's it.
For the sake of our guys that are listening to the podcast, the audio format, I think I'll just run through a few of them. Top 5 simply. Fortinet, we mentioned it last week with FortiOS. Zimbra OS, it should be able to. That's a common help desk stuff. Please also look at that as well. A lot of them are for VPN. We have Pulse Security as well, which is also a very good solution for identity and authentication. And then you have for Citrix. So I can tell you most of the things that are being targeted are exposed to the internet. So it's not like something that is really hidden in your enterprise. Another one is the is the VMware One Access. So now you know why it's been targeted as well. So these top 5 are being targeted. So it's not something you want to play with, and that is why we are very cautious about disclosing them openly, so that so some form of you who need to quickly access this podcast to quickly check the notes and go ahead and block those.
Thank you. Thanks for that update. Again, we try to ensure we give you as much as possible. We have limited time, so we like to pack everything and make sure that all our audience know what we're trying to project out here. The next, we're going to go to some hot topics now, and this is where me and Yemi are going to have some good discussions. One of the main topic is how many people have a checklist for, should I say, offboarding employees. Now that we are all working literally from home, some people are moving jobs while working from home to still work from home. Are there any security measures out there that one can say, look, you need to take in place measures to ensure that when someone wants to leave an organization, it's easy before you were in the office, but now you're all back at home. How do you move? How do you ensure security is still in place when you're offboarding an employee? So I always say you just have to double do what you did when the person was on site. For me, I would say ensure you conduct more thorough exit interviews, ensure that you have a detailed discussion with the employee why he or she is leaving, and ensure that you account for all the assets, because it's more difficult now to get an asset when the person is working from home. You understand? I say, hey, there's still corona out there, I can't use the bus. So, and ensure you revoke the access. There must be a process to ensure that all access to whoever is leaving the organization is removed in its entirety. Yemi, do you want to add any other ones to that?
Absolutely. So I think you've mentioned the key ones, but just to expatiate on it, since this is hot topic, right? One of the key things that we've not done is access automation, governance. Even while we were working on premise, we don't seem to have a hang of it. For example, apart from someone exiting as well, which is very critical, where you must be able to revoke access, is actually those regular access and role review, in which the managers need to be able to say, yes, I want to recertify this user. This user still need access to this environment. If the managers are not responsible, there's no how you can do offboarding. So there must be a workflow in the organization that includes the manager closely. The manager should know that it's his responsibility to be able to inform the right people at the right time. And then, if you were doing quarterly access review before, I think right now you need to double it to be monthly access review. Because I've seen people move job like this. And before, you said this is last day, you want to collect the laptop. You can't collect the laptop. The guy probably will have to ship the laptop, even if he's in the vicinity, right? Yep. So, but right now, you need to know how many of your assets, and also those that are newly issued. Because some assets are issued on top of the old one, and the old ones was never released. So right now, the perimeter has even moved. So the disk is still open. Are you even encrypting the disk? In what way? Can you even do remote wipe of even the disk or even the mobile phone? The mobile phone is not serious. Do you even have a way to manage the mobile phones remotely? So do you have a mobile phone management system? So a lot of things are out there, but things need to be stepped up.
So indirectly is like you just said, ensuring that your organization has a good asset management, know what is out there, know what the employee has been given. So by the time he or she is leaving, you are able to say, look, you have this, and this with you need to retrieve it.
Absolutely.
Ensuring that there's a good communication between all the departments, ensuring that obviously if one employee is collecting an asset, the asset team is aware that this employee is getting it. And like you said, the managers must approve and ensure that everything is accounted for. I would add that there should be a form of monitoring all the activities, knowing exactly what's happening with individuals. Well, there might be some privacy things there, but again, to the best of their best practice, should I say, monitor the activity. And last but not least, zero trust during offboarding. Do not trust. Zero trust. Everything
Completely.
must be detailed. You must ensure you follow due process.
I agree with you.
That's my own take in offboarding employees that work externally.
Yeah.
Do you take anything else you want to add to that?
That's basically it. But one key thing that now remains is if we are speaking this way, right? And talking to IT operation might be nice, but when it comes to security, guys, we need to double down now. Why do I say that? We need to double down in such a way that we are now friends with HR. Much more closer relationship with HR now than ever. So we need to have them on speed dial for things like this, for exit, for change of role, people who have changed role in the organization, and close tie with IT operation. This is now when we cannot wait for IT operation to report things. We actually need to be proactive and probably go to ask. If we have not scheduled weekly meeting with IT operation, this is now. We need to have ongoing things. If these things are not automated yet, we should automate them now. Look for a way to automate them. But if they are already automated, it makes it work easier. But HR needs to be on board, and the functional managers, business managers. You need to keep them. We need to step up as security professionals now in the organization. That's what I think.
Especially now that it's going to be a norm. As in, working from home will definitely be a norm. I'm happy about that. I'm not going to say I'm not, but like I said, it gets us security guys to another level of security, both technically and governance, risk, and compliance. So it's a new game out there. Cloud security becomes even more of an area we look at, and like I said, security guys, it's a new playing field for us, and we have to now step up the game. So not to dwell on this, I think the next one want to also talk about a hot topic. I think Yemi, you want to start off with this one. Is the REvil ransom gang?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let the viewers know what it's all about.
Yeah. It's interesting, right? But at the same time, it's really sad. When you have the big guys in the industry, the Apple, the Samsung, big time mobile design, hardware design providers, they've got third party. And the third party here was hacked. But finally, we've got the group that was asking for $50 million. They are called REvil. So REvil is the one that have hacked a provider of Apple, which is Quanta. And they've got all the designs of Apple, Samsung, LG. This talks to what we spoke about the other time, about third-party security. We might have everything done. but we are strong as our weakest link. So we need to step up the game. So this is exactly what happened here. So they've gone after a third party who have got all their designs and they are holding the company into ransom. Nobody knows what is going on in negotiation right now, but it's pretty bad. So we need to step up. If you are new to third-party security, third-party risk assessment, I think you should get in contact with us as well. Tunde and I have had a little bit of experience in the industry. We can probably give you a layman kind of template for you to use to at least, even if it's self-audit, self-risk assessment, you should do it to start with. That's what I would say about that.
Well, like I said, we talked about in our last talk or episodes where we talked about third-party risk assessment. And to be honest, I think everyone has to understand when you get organizations that maybe are not the big four, big five, or things like that, you need to ensure you do your assessment on them. You do your due diligence on them. What I mean by due diligence is, you kind of ensure you assess the organization and the way they release or provide products within they release products basically. So what I mean by that do they have a well-detailed governance, risk, and compliance? Are they ensuring that they're doing vulnerability assessment as well as penetration tests for all the products that they are releasing? Are they ensuring that all their products, when they're doing development, are ensuring that the OWASP top 10 are not being fixed before they release their product? Are they following any kind of general certification, either the ISO 27001 or some applications? So the whole point is ensure that the assessment you do for organizations that are coming into your enterprise take security seriously. You might have people that don't necessarily take security. They've done a product, it looks good, they're giving it to you. And just because you know them or you think you know them, you deploy it within your organization. And down the line, hackers find flaws or malicious people find flaws and use it to get access to your organization. That happened to, I think it was Codecov. Codecov. Codecov is an online software testing platform that can integrate with GitHub. I know most of us all know GitHub. They use it to generate code coverage reports and statistics. So lots of people that use GitHub really like them. What malicious people were able to is to replace Codecov's IP address with their own in the bash uploader script. The attackers now paved the way to silently collect code of customer credentials, which are the tokens, the API keys, and anything stored as environment variables in the customer's continuous integration environment. So they were just able to get all customer data. Again, if you do your due diligence, you will be able to assess, Codecov, why don't you have a fixed IP address? When your IP address was changed, that should have been known. Do you understand? You should be able to assess organization and application security to assess. Again, some people would say, and I'm not going to shy away from it. Some people would assume that, it's a big organization. Why would I assess them? Is again, you do your due diligence. It's like the SolarWind Act. Some people did their due diligence. Some people didn't just, once they release a patch. Some people did the due diligence to ensure that they assessed the patch itself and were able to see that there was something not right with the patch that was released by SolarWind, the initial compromise. That's what I mean by doing your due diligence. Again, there are different templates online that you can access and do your due diligence. And like Yemi said, we're here for knowledge sharing and, Nothing confidential, obviously, just to clarify our statement, but we'll definitely, talk in this forum to help everyone understand each other. We're all here to learn. Knowledge is key. Knowledge is power. Myself and Yemi have been doing this for quite a while, so we have different knowledge to bounce off each other. Anything else on this part, Yemi?
Yeah, very well. Why this tool is very useful, especially for the guys who are doing DevOps and DevOps Sec. Very good. Or DevSecOps. This is very good. This is a good solution. Nobody will have thought that something like that can happen to it. But again, we know that the environment has changed. This usually doesn't happen, but now it's happening over and over again. So you know what was done for so-called Exchange, what was done for SolarWinds. Now this, more might still come. So we need to double down, as Tunde have mentioned. We need to find a way to be able to assess these tools themselves and have a control kind of. Maybe this is a continuous thing. Actually, all of us know in security, never say never. We need to have zero trust on anything that we use. We need to come up with that mindset now than ever. So that is what I would like to say.
The reason why we take third-party security, why we are emphasizing on it, is because many industries or many people out there seem to trust people that are developers or have organizations that are developers without doing their due diligence on the company as well as the way they release products or applications. And if you don't do your due diligence on those organizations, it will come back to bite you. I spoke of the organization. So Codecov, and that is not just that. There's a password manager, the Passwordstate hacked to deploy malware on customer systems. So if you have things like when what that means is we have organizations that use password managers like LastPass and all this, but some people don't use it individually. They use it in terms of enterprise. Yeah. So if that gets hacked, your old enterprise is hacked. I think it's Passwordstate was hacked, and they don't even know the hackers yet. It's they call them. They know it's malicious. They compromise the update mechanism of their enterprise password manager application, and they were able to deploy malware on users' device. That means all the enterprise, everybody using it, had been compromised. So according to a copy from the company's communications obtained by the Polish Tech News site, the malware-laced update was live for 28 hours between April 20th to April 22nd. That means this guy were deploying malware to anyone that used that password manager. So the whole enterprise was compromised. So again, that's why we say do your due diligence, monitor, ensure that you're monitoring your organization. Continuous monitoring, like I said, defense in depth is what you need to put in place to ensure you are able to track and identify malicious intent. Yeah, I just wanted to let our viewers know that. Okay. Yeah, you were going to say something. Good news?
Absolutely. This one is for you and I to discuss as well. So it's a bit funny and also very good thing. It was an app that was formed as a Tiki bar. So if you don't know, it's more like a Caribbean kind of drink and all that. So some guys just sat down and they formed a particular app called, and they named it after the bar, Tiki. So they named it Tiki app. And to me, this is a good concept that they have put forward in such a way that they want to be able to give control back to the users that have lost their personal data. I know in the last few podcasts, we talked about LinkedIn losing about almost 250,000 and Facebook 500,000, thereabout. So every day we've seen a lot of personal data being compromised and out there. And some people are making so much money from it. And these guys are flipping it on their head. Say, what if even the users that have lost data, how can they take control of it? Lock the data, lock my personal data myself, or monetize my data. So that if anybody wants to use it, yeah, I give you permission to use it. And then I can get some money on my. You want to make money? Yes, I'll make money as well. So that was really good. Security-wise, it helps you to be able to trace where your data has been. And also on the other side, you're able to make money off your data. And this app is going to be launched in June this year. That is the launch date. One of the things that I liked about it is Tiki will not be storing your data itself. It's probably is going to store a hash of your data, a tokenization of your data. That is what it's going to store. It's not going to store the real data. It's going to remain where it is, or where he has found it, whether in the dark web or somewhere, it's going to be there.
Well, that's interesting. I'd like to know how much I'm worth, as in...
Exactly.
If they tell me every time you have to pay me some amount of money to use my data, I'll say yes or no.
I don't mind you having my data, right? Yeah, you have it. You want to use it? No problem.
You pay me.
But I have to give permission. Pay me. Because
but this would be a game changer, because it will also now, it might restrict the way the big tech use your data, like the Facebook, the LinkedIn.
Absolutely.
Because if you associate yourself with this, then it might be a case of, okay, but I think there will be a catch, because you may have to officially link yourself to this app to be able to use your personal data on other organizations. I don't know much about the app, so I don't want to delve into it.
There's a lot. They're trying to use new technology, emerging technology like blockchain and what have you as well. So in other way, for already your data is out there, right? So why wouldn't you say, okay, I'm the owner of this data? For example, your email, for instance. So if I put my email on this app and it goes around and search for everywhere where my email has been compromised or is available, and scrape the web of who is using my email, that is fantastic. And say, company A, B, C, D, I've got it. Now you need to specify. Do you want me to? And so on. So if not, you lock it. So you lock your data in that, then they cannot use it. It's more like you are sending your encryption, or you are being alerted whenever your data is showed up somewhere. So which is really big. Most people don't even know where their data is at the moment, because it's spread across different things. You and I have talked about, have I been pwned? When you go there and you see some of those links, have I been pwned? They don't store your data as well. They just go around to different database and search and say, your data is found here, your data has been compromised here. They don't store it as well. So the same concept, but now taking it a step further, that I can make money.
Yeah. And once you use I'm just saying, like, once you use the blockchain technology, that's kind of like, ties you to wherever your data is.
Absolutely. And because it's a web of trust already, right? So anybody unique, and that's it.
Yeah. And then once you use the PKI technology, like the RSA keys to privately encrypt the data, and then use the elliptic code to sign the data, ensuring security of the data as well. It's a smart move. Are they on any stock? Should I buy their stocks?
Now you are talking smart, right? If those guys are going to be listed, man, it's a stock to buy. Like, that's a good concept, because I'm going to make money out of it anyway. So why not? And it's good. So I got it, and I thought, man, we should share with some of our listeners that this will be happening, because almost every one of us have got our data somewhere at the moment. whether we gave it willingly or it was taken by force.
Interesting. Name is Tiki app.
Tiki.
Tiki.
App. Yeah.
App. Okay.
It's going to be launched in June.
Wow. Don't worry, we don't have any affiliation with it yet. So in case anybody's thinking we're getting paid for that, no. It's something we're just sharing with everyone out there. Once we see something good from a security perspective, we like to share and get your feedbacks as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. And that's it. I think we'll round up. This is a special for Workers' Day because obviously Workers' Day just passed. So all the workers out there, we're workers as well. So thank you all. Yemi, anything you want to round up? Don't forget this conversation doesn't stop here. You can send email to us at guteam@justunsecure.com. You can also follow us on Twitter. You can join the group on LinkedIn and continue to follow up on it. And then you can subscribe to both the YouTube channel and also the podcast channel. We're on Google Podcast, Apple, Spotify. So you can join any of us and communicate with us. Like I said, follow us. We're here to provide good content for you guys. So the more you follow, the more you let us know what you like, what you don't like. We're here to share knowledge as usual. Thank you. Until next time, see you guys. Bye. Take care, guys. Bye.